The first thing I would suggest for a service provider is have a strategy for sales and marketing, because most people just wait for the phone to ring or they go to networking events. I mean, the way I would frame it is that the average business, what they do is akin to having a gambling addiction, right? They're going to the casino, they're putting a couple of dollars into the slot machine, and they're just hoping that they're going to accidentally run into that really good customer. And more often than not, they're just there working really hard. Right? I see people going to networking events. They don't even know who the right customer is. They just want one. So I think the best thing you've got to do as a service provider first is work out who that exact client is, because any tactic that you employ is just that. It's a tactic, and it won't go the way you need it to give you an ROI. As soon as you know that group, then you can employ a lot of really different things. So for me, of course, if I was trying to get some initial interest, the first thing I'd do is I'd go to a networking room, because you want to get those first case studies, those first, success stories, the first, momentum partners, people that, authorities that buy into what you do. However, no one wants to do that hustle every single day for the rest of their lives. So you've got to have an end game for that. So I would start by going to networking events. I would start by cold calling if I need to. But once I've got my business to a point where I've got some good customers, I'd be focusing on, when I was in Australia, I had 15 telemarketers, 20 sales reps out there every day. It was stressful, it was expensive, and then I replicated all of that with a complete online strategy. So for me, what I do now is I focus my entire attention on putting out amazing content on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube, and I think we put out nearly 500 videos last year out to really generate interest. And the ROI is amazing. Now, I wouldn't suggest you put them out just on social media and then let them die. I think that's a mistake a lot of people make. So I'm all about creating a social media asset, not a social media liability. So I don't pay companies to just produce content for the sake of it. Everything that I do stays in the realm of evergreen, which means it's as relevant today as it is in the future. And then I build it into a system like CoSchedule, Social Bee, Meet Edgar's one, doesn't do video though, so I'd probably stick to the ones that do. And then when I'm producing great content live, then I'm not pulling out of that repository. But when I go on a holiday, a speaking tour, I go away for Christmas, then I pull those videos out of the repository and I maintain that consistent relationship. And I think with social, connecting with great people is important. And don't do that thing where you connect with them and then you send them 5 messages to sell them something the next day. That does not work. I'll say it again, that does not work. It was a tactic that worked for a short period of time. Now everyone's doing it and people are just over it. Right? Now, it does still work the same way as email does, that you are going to get that some return, but it's not going to get you those big cherry deals. The big cherry deals are going to come from posting great content on social media, getting those people directed to your website where you provide them great content again, and then offer them something additional of value in exchange for their email address, and then provide them more great value on email, and then prompt them to book a phone call, join a webinar or something like that. For me, that is the absolute ultimate these days, because it's incredibly leverageable. It allows you to qualify your customers before you even get on the phone with them. And it builds deep relationships with people that you become the only logical choice for years. I've got people from high school that see some of my Facebook posts and they're like, oh, I just joined a BDM role and I needed to get your book. I haven't spoken to them in years and I haven't got the time to pick up the phone to everybody. I get big corporations that say, hey, we've had you on our agenda to hire you as a speaker for the last 2 years and we keep seeing your videos and now your topic aligns with our theme, so we're going to do it. See, when we do sales in a silo, when we pick up the phone, we have to not only know that they need what we need, but they need to need it now as well. Where if you develop a social connection with these people and you're constantly providing content that's in alignment, again, niche and message, if it starts to go outside that scope, they're like, that Matthew Pollard guy, gosh, one day he's talking about goal setting, the other day he's talking about emotional intelligence, the next day he's talking about marketing, right? He's a jack of all trades and a master of none. But if you develop an amazing relationship with these people with one series of content that's all on message, these people fall in love with you. They enjoy your content. They become disciples of what you do. And as soon as there's a speaking opportunity, a coaching opportunity, they move into a new job, they're ones that will be like, absolutely, let's move forward. Let's do this. Let me reach out. And it happens all the time. People will say, it's funny how this happened. We were talking about what speaker we were going to hire or what coach we were going to hire for this specific thing. And then we were going through Google to find all these great people. And then I saw your video, and I'd seen your stuff for so long. So even though I was scrolling through 30 videos that specialize on niche marketing, yours is the only face I recognize. So that's why we decided to hire you, right? So short term, pick up the phone, go to networking events, do the tactical stuff that you need to do to get yourself that initial. But as soon as you get enough to get yourself to what I call your independence goal, we're not living on champagne and caviar, but you're also not living on bread and gruel. Create a long-term strategy that gets you out of that day-to-day hustle, because there's nothing worse than having a business that leaves you stuck in a hamster wheel. I mean, you may as well be staying in your job.